of your way. I can make it through 1,000 tomorrow. You with me here today. Let the chains clash on this land of ours. All I move, earth tomorrow. It won't matter. I know who you are. I'll be loving you. The sun comes up and there's air to breathe, but still nothing all has to be. That's my resolution, baby. The stars, I'll be loving you. The clock's still ticking if there's any time at all. You can do everything for mine. So let the world come and let it cease away. I'll be loving you. The sun comes up and there's air to breathe, but still nothing all you had to be. If the moon comes out to complement the stars, I'll be loving you. If the clock's still ticking, if there's any time, nothing you can do, everything for mine. So let the world come and let it cease away. I'll be loving you. I'll be loving you. Yeah. I'll be loving you. I'll be loving you. Yeah. I'll be loving you. 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 I'll be loving you.
Sometimes you need to get knocked down before you can really figure out what your fight is and how you need to fight it. Sometimes you need to feel the pain and sting of defeat to activate the real passion and purpose that God predestined inside of you. God says in Jeremiah, I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Hear me well on this day. This day when you have reached the hilltop and you are deciding on next jobs, next steps, careers, further education. You would rather find purpose than a job or a career. Purpose crosses disciplines. Purpose is an essential element of you. It is the reason you are on the planet at this particular time in history. Your very existence is wrapped up in the things you are here to fulfill. Whatever you choose for a career path, remember the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. When God has something for you, it doesn't matter who stands against it. If it's meant for you, God will move someone that's holding you back away from a door and put someone there who will open it for you. I don't know what your future is, but if you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it. Press on with pride and press on with purpose and appreciate what God has brought you through.
Basketball is back, and BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. You'll always find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. And as your continued source for all sports wager information, BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and giveaways all season long. Always the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports and events, whether that's NFL, NBA, NHL, MMA, tennis, boxing, or even golf. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure to use promo code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV to receive your rewards. It's BetOnline, where the game starts. Tell them the Noisemaker sent you.
Popcorn world. Popcorn world. Yeah. Can I make you move now? Yes, I can. So you can get this move in the back of a can. But to make it round the world when it holds in your hand. Popcorn world. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. 250 flavors gonna make you smile. I said popcorn make you smile. Ah. 250 flavors. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. Popcorn world. It's a popcorn world. It's a popcorn world. What's that saying? Breaking down the rumor and swelling out. Speaking for the people who must go around. Taking truth to power with the whisper and the shout. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, talking noise. Hey yeah, say it again, say we're talking noise. Yeah, talking noise. Really don't have to fool around. Never noise keeps us lined up. When truth divine, the sound that you hear is a sign of success. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, talking noise. Yeah, picking up all the sound. We're talking noise. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Talking noise. Say it again. We're talking noise. Welcome to Talkin NOIZ, the daily podcast that brings you up to speed and keeps you informed about real issues affecting real people. With your host, Mr. Talkin NOIZ himself, Lloyd Spence. His beautiful wife, Mrs. Noise, Kenyatta Spence. The ever-informed Brother Noise, Alan Brown. And yours cordially, Uncle Noise, Shake Anderson. Come on in and join us as we reveal and opine today's most pressing issues. Real truth while having real fun. Talkin NOIZ is in your house right now. So sit back and enjoy Talkin NOIZ. Herschel Walker.
Ain't we lucky we got 'em?
Y'all should have brought y'all kids to the club and play. Yo. We are live. We are in the building. We're talking noise. I'm here. Mama Noise is here. We glad to be here with y'all tonight. And we definitely need some inspiration to start the night because this is a critical night in Americas. So, white guitars, if you don't mind, sir, hit me with that. There you go. Oh, Mama Noise. Let me get the solo real quick. Georgia. I know the polls are about to close. So y'all need to hurry up, get down there, vote the right way.
Right way.
The right way. We playing. This ain't the night to be playing, Georgia. And we're gonna sit up here in this church house for a little while, and we're gonna keep our eyes on you. And in the meantime, Georgia,
I mean,
do the right thing.
do the right thing.
Do it again, Mama Noise.
Do the right thing. Do the right thing. Georgia.
Wait on it, Mama Noise.
Georgia.
All right. That's
You gotta
it.
get your life together. And get to the poll.
I'm just saying. Mr. Noise, that's Mama Noise right there. We're glad to be here with y'all
Yes.
on this very critical election night in Georgia. Because we got the Senate race going on in Georgia between Ralph Warnock and the pastor. And it's even hard to believe that I'm saying this, but Herschel Walker.
It is hard.
Herschel Walker, y'all. This is ridiculous.
You know.
And so with 16% of the polls reporting so far, Reverend Warnock has a lead. He has a lead of a little over 100,000.
Lord, we need you to come through.
353,000 to about 225. So he's doing well so far. But Georgia, we need y'all to push this on over the top. Don't be playing. Stop playing. Y'all play too much.
We bind up defiance.
You know what I'm saying? Get on with the get on. Quit playing.
Sam.
So we'll be monitoring this all through the show. Giving y'all updates. Any changes take place. We got y'all on that for real though. But Georgia,
oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
do the right thing. All right. Mama Noise, other than that, how you doing tonight?
I'm well.
Yeah. Listen to me, Georgia. If y'all think we're gonna let y'all blow this, we got a word for y'all. And
oh no.
Princess Noah, cover your ears. Because I got to give him a hard message. I'm just saying, Georgia, stop playing. Stop playing.
I'm just saying. Do your job.
Do your job. All right.
I've been seeing posts all day talking about you got one job.
You got one job, Georgia. You got one job tonight.
All you supposed to do.
I'm just saying.
Let's go to the polls. I mean,
just go to the polls.
Just do your job.
Go on over there. Go on now, Georgia. Go on. Go on.
Quit playing. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
All right. We just had to get that out of our system. All right. Hey, noisemakers, good to see y'all tonight. Those of you who are on the Noise Rewatch, I gave it a new name. I'm calling y'all the NRG. Shout out to the NRG. Noise Rewatch gang.
I'm part of that. Y'all part of that. Is right. Mama Noise, NRG.
Okay.
Noise rewatch game.
Okay.
Or I can say the Goons. Which one was it? Goons or game?
I don't think they want to be called goons.
No, they go. So we go game. I was right the first time. Shout out to the NRG, and this y'all signal.
It could be the rewatch fam. I mean,
This is y'all signal right here. Rewatch. Y'all do this. Go boom, boom, doom, 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 doom. There you go.
oh no.
What? Mama Noise, you gotta have a signal to signify the
Boom
game.
dome? I'm not sure that.
Boom, boom, zoom, zoom.
Oh, okay.
You gotta have a signal to signify if you're in the gang or not. You know that.
Okay.
All right. So we got some fun tonight, as you can see. But Georgia, we got an eye on you. We ain't playing with y'all. Stop playing. Y'all play too much. All right.
Oh my gosh.
All right. I'm sorry. I had to get that out of my system.
Listen.
This ain't a night to be playing, Georgia. Get together.
It's true.
I think the polls actually are closed.
Oh my gosh.
So
now we're just waiting for the count.
Everything now is just coming in. But Georgia, stop playing. Just better go right. All right. So anyway, let's keep going. Mama Noise. I tell you what, it has been an interesting day. But I got some church announcements before we go on with the rest of the show. I almost forgot. I had church announcements in my head, and then I let my mind and my backbone slip as a kid. Let your backbone slip. Okay. So for the rest of let me start with tomorrow. Tomorrow, we got the 5. We are back on the 5, and we got to talk about. We're gonna talk about Deion, and then we're gonna talk about the playoffs, and we're gonna talk about the NBA and all that good stuff. So the 5 is gonna be a great show. You don't want to miss that. Then Thursday morning, we are talking a lot of stuff. The firing at U of L. We're talking maybe a hiring at U of L as well. I'm hearing some rumors that there's going to be a hiring at U of L for the UFO football team. But then also we're going to give out our awards, the Bleed in the ACC awards for 2022. So we got that to give out. So that's going down on Thursday morning. Then for the rest of this month, we're starting something new on Thursday, and that's Throwback Thursday. We're going to give y'all some Daddy and the Girls. We're going to give y'all some I Still Do, but the throwback versions of it. So we got some shows that we're going to show. So tune in for 2 hours for the throwback shows of Daddy and the Girls and I Still Do. And then, of course, on Friday, we got Black Friday coming in. Listen, Black Friday, this Friday, we peeling back. We peeling back the layers a little bit. So just come see what that's all about on Black Friday. And then, of course, listen, if you were here on Uncorked Wine this last Saturday, I have no explanation other than it was crazy. It was hella fun. We had a ball. It got real crazy and fun.
It got heated.
It got heated. And if you thought this past Saturday was heated, this Saturday's going to be heated as well. So we got part 2 of our all-time top 10 list. All of that's going down this week. Don't miss it. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know the schedule. That's your noise schedule. So as they say, govern yourselves accordingly.
That was crazy.
It was crazy. Uncorked Wine was crazy. And it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse.
You can go to the Noisemaker page and watch what happened.
Yeah, you can NRG, y'all can go back and watch it on the Noisemaker page or YouTube. The Uncorked Wine page on YouTube. Uncorked Wine channel on YouTube. So it's a lot of you can go back and see all of it. But it was bananas. It really was bananas. I don't even have words to describe how bananas it was. It was just bananas. That's all I can tell you. When you find out who the number one, according to the noisemakers who showed up on Uncorked Wine and the panel we had, you find out what they voted the #1 black sitcom of all time. Your head's gonna explode. Mine almost exploded. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Still in a state of shock.
I'm still in a state of shock. So I digress. Anyway, those are your church announcements. Like I said, govern yourselves accordingly. All right. Mama Noise, we are going to jump into today's show because that's what we do on Talkin NOIZ. We jump into the show and we get busy. Let's get busy. So I want to start with pick up where we left off yesterday. And the internet is still, listen, if y'all thought the internet was not going to be still on fire about this Deion Sanders thing, y'all don't understand how the world works. And then it got even more elevated when Dr. Kevin Cosby did what he did. And so a lot of outlets picked up his Twitter rant and then his apology and all that stuff. But it's still mixed emotions from everybody. Like some people are calling Deion a sellout. They said, shame on you. I can't believe you did it. Other people are saying, man, why would you try to go rescue a white institution when we need all the help over here as black people? It's been kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying, to hear and to see the response that people have as a result of all the things that are taking place with Mr. Deion Sanders. Because everybody thought, now, what's interesting about the Deion Sanders thing is that while everybody's talking about what he did and how bad it was, and oh my God, you left them kids like that, and oh my goodness, why would you do this, Deion? Oh no. I don't think the kids were as messed up about it as the people were. I think the people was like, we good. The kids was like, we good. So I wanna play a little bit from his conversation with the kids after the game and some of the stuff he said to them, if that's all right with y'all. We'll just play some, a little bit of the video, bits and pieces of it or whatever. But just listen to what Deion's conversation, and actually it's kind of ironic because the video is called "The Part of Deion Sanders' Exit Meeting with His Team They Don't Want You to See." So let's see what they didn't want us to see. So here we go. Here's some of the parts of the exit meeting with Deion Sanders.
I appreciate every opportunity you gave me. I got hurt. I was stuff in there, and you get me around. I don't know why.
But Shallow vouch for you first. Shallow, this is the dude, and he got on my nerves, and they put y'all on hold. But I'm proud of you, man. And you made it the whole year this year, so you get a ring this year, right? Okay, we'll make sure you get a ring this year. He's looking for the ring. He's the guy that quit on the end last year. But we love you. We love you. Who else? Yes, sir.
When I first got here, you were talking to me when I was getting recruited. You was telling me that your plan was you want to come back, do it again, or take it over. You want to make it for a lot of hours, I can say thank you. But you know, I was doing career help me too. You're not done.
Did we give us a second, man? That brother was on board back. He running around. I got something. Yes, sir. I just want to say, just like a lot of us that came in from.
I just want to say, like a lot of us that came in from the portal, we were bettering ourselves, trying to find a better way. And you showed us not just dominating the game, but dominating life. And I appreciate you all that.
That's a white boy. That's a white boy. You see the white boy? Okay.
You got a tough coach. Don't bring that right back. He didn't know that in that life, but he will fight for him. Try to make the ball everywhere. Oh, I do not feel like getting on this plane. Yes. Thank you. I appreciate you. The whole crazy room like that. I don't know how we did everybody my mama's sideline today. How many people put up sideline today? We got comfortable, yeah. We got comfortable on the sideline today. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say thank you for everything, because all this time I have learned my life how to don't on feel, but at age and never happy.
Well, we appreciate it. We really do. I love y'all. Well, is this those? Yes. You know that. I saw you look rough today too, by the way. I said, yeah, you ain't saying too hard. Like, you gonna get a feeling, you can get it right. I really appreciate that.
Everybody in this room is somebody. Everybody. If we cannot do what we do without everybody in this room, and I want to say congratulations. This is a big deal. We got some unfinished business. We're going to finish this thing out. Coach, from the time I met you, everything you said you were going to do, you did. I appreciate you. That up days, down days, we stuck together as a team. One thing that I want you fellas to always understand, it's always about somebody's always special that's been a part of the team. In life, it's always special about somebody that's been a part of the team. Just remember that. These are brothers in here. Coaches, I want to thank you all. Sports medicine, equipment, everybody in this room. Video team, everybody. We've done some great things. And we should be proud about it. We're the number one FCS team in the country. I don't care what nobody says. Let's continue. Let's finish this thing. Let's show people we can do. Coach coming back here, he's going to work on Tuesday. I'm going to work on Tuesday. Let's continue to finish this thing. Coach, I want to say I appreciate you. I thank you. Let's finish this work started.
Hey, let me end with from the bottom of my heart. I absolutely love every last one. Get this picture. Get this picture. Stand over there.
So that's the end of the night. On the night he went throughout to Colorado, and I didn't see any anger. I didn't see any bitterness. I'm sure some of the kids were sad and they're gonna miss their coach and they're not gonna be able to go. And I get it, but at the same time, the one child said you changed the culture. You changed what we are, who we are, made us better. And that's really what you were hoping would happen. I'm sure that's what Jackson State was hoping would happen with their program. My question is that going to be a moment or is that going to be a movement now? Or can they build on what the lessons and the example that Deion left for them? And by the way, when you look at the bigger model of what he did for HBCUs, can HBCUs look at that and say, this is a moment? I mean, this is a movement now. We can build on this. So the question tonight, I think the Talk That Tuesday question tonight is a good one, because we're asking, do Black people need a moment or a movement, or a movement or a moment? And I think there's the irony of the question is is that you can't really have one without the other. Most movements, start with a moment. Most movements start with something happening that sparks the thing that creates the movement that creates change. Your cousin that you like to brag about all the time in this house, Rosa Parks, helped to spark her moment, helped to spark a movement, right? Montgomery bus boycott, which ultimately played a very significant role in what ultimately became the quote unquote civil rights movement. That's how these things work. Now, the Montgomery bus boycott didn't last but a year. It only lasted a year, but it was highly successful. And when it was over, change took place both in Montgomery and across the United States of America. My point is, sometimes all you need is a moment to spark a movement. So while we are frustrated by what Deion did. We wanted him to stay forever, but maybe that's not how it's supposed to work. So it brings, so I want to talk. That's what we want to talk about here tonight. So, Mama Noise, what are your thoughts about what you just saw in the video and all that good stuff?
Well, I mean, I heard what you said about Rosa Parks and the Montgomery bus movement. No, I'm saying what you said, and you're muted.
I said that. He didn't say that. I said that.
I'm saying what you said. I'm not saying what he said. But if you're going to reference that, then the first thing that comes to my mind is like Deion was there for the moment he was there, and now he's gone. What if Rosa Parks would have been like, you know what? Maybe I should start a movement by going to each state and sitting on a bus and causing confusion. She stayed there. She went through the process, and as you so eloquently put that, it lasted a year, but that was 365 days of Black people walking.
Right.
And everybody had to be on board.
But everybody was on board at Jackson State. They stayed 3 years. I know what you're saying, but I'm trying to help. I'm trying to, like I said, I've tried to really put a lot of this in perspective. Now, again, if I were Deion, I probably wouldn't have done I wouldn't have told nobody publicly. The Lord said it, blah, 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 blah. He may have been a little bit over the top with that part. But at the same time, you can't deny what he's done. And you could easily take what he's done and create momentum. That's the point, I guess, that I'm trying to make. And I'm trying to understand why. Listen, after you get past the initial shock of what took place, now we got to focus. Now we got to focus as Jackson State and as HBCUs and say, hey, what can we do to create momentum? Now that we have had our moment, now that we have been on the lips and the minds and the attitudes of ESPN, of Fox Sports, of all these different entities, how do we build on this and create a movement to where we don't go back to where it used to be with HBCU? To what, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I guess I'm in a place where it's like, okay, well, if they didn't offer you that much money, would you have left?
Okay. See, and I'm glad you're saying that. I am so glad you're saying that, because I think that's part of the problem. We get so focused on what happened that we don't see what can happen. Yes, they offered that man $6 million a year, and he was like, peace, right? I get it. I understand what he did. I understand why we feel the way we feel. My thing is, okay, that's done. That's settled. But does the whole movement have to stop because he's gone? Because here's what I'm going to throw at you. Are you ready for this? Here it is. If the whole movement was contingent upon one man, then dare I say we never had a movement to begin with.
I'm not so sure he was preparing for when he was, I feel like if you're going to come there and be the man and make the movement and all of that, then you should be preparing other people so that when you do leave, it doesn't all fall apart. And I feel like when he ran around going door to door and stuff, I mean, it just makes me feel like just a salesman, a ultimate salesman.
Okay, but Mama Noise, nobody was prepared for Martin Luther King to die either.
Yeah, but he died. That wasn't nothing he planned.
But that's not the point. The point is the movement was bigger than him. And the movement didn't stop after he died. I'm saying if it's a movement, if it's a true movement, if it's true change, and if we're all after true change, isn't the movement bigger than the person anyway? Isn't the movement bigger? Isn't the movement bigger than Rosa Parks?
Yeah, I get it, but I feel like that was a bailout before the movement. You know, it's like you said, Rosa Parks. Okay, well then that means that you just, like, in other words, Rosa, I know we're supposed to ride out this boycott, but now look, there are people over on this side of it. Let me bail out over there because they got more benefits.
Mama Noise, it's too early to tell if it's bad. It's only bad. It's, first of all, he only been gone 3 days, and he technically ain't all the way gone. He still got to go coach this game this weekend before he go to Colorado. But my point to you is this. We don't know if it's over. It's only over if we don't build on what's been done. So I'm going to ask you this question. Does this movement, is the only way this movement can be successful is that it has to have Deion Sanders? Because if it does, then I would argue it was never a movement in the first place. It was just a moment. Because if the fate of HBCUs and the fate of Jackson State, it was all contingent upon one man doing what he did, then this is not a movement. It was never a movement. It was just one guy with an incredible skill set that went to an area, did what he did, and then the rest of it got blown up. But if it's a real movement, then one guy shouldn't derail it. And so that's what I'm saying. So is that what you're saying? That it was all one guy?
I don't know. I guess, are the days long gone for coaches to become a part of the family and become a part of the community and not looking for the next fat check and then roll off into the sunset, like all the promises and all the stuff that you said to the people and stuff? It's like, oh, I did that so that y'all would, get in line. Or I did that so y'all would, I don't know, to make y'all believe. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, because, okay, all of the big good coaches or whatever, they are always quick to go off to the PWIs and stuff like that. So to have a HBCU get this much attention, to get this much publicity for the first time in a long time, because let's keep it a buck. Eddie George he's a coach up there and up at TSU.
Okay, so let's stop right there. So let's stop right there.
So
let's stop right there. Why can't Eddie George, who we all know and love, why can't Eddie George pick it up? Eddie George can pick it up. He got the cachet. He's got the presence. He's got a voice. He's a well-articulated dude. He can stand up and be like, yo, Deion's gone, but we still got your boy Eddie George. And I'm over here in Tennessee State, which, by the way, has very good facilities and a great field and a great band and a whole nine, too. Eddie George could do the same thing.
Nobody's even talked about it. I don't hear nothing about TSU. Nothing.
Okay, but that's not what I'm saying, Mama Noise. I'm saying, you're missing the point. The point is, if Deion did it, everyone could do it. Everyone could get louder. Everyone could lobby for what they're. Eddie George could call ESPN just like Deion did. Hugh, what's his name? The head coach at Grambling. Gosh. Y'all talk amongst yourselves. Somebody help me in the chat because I'm trying to remember his name. Grambling's head coach. Somebody help me in the chat. Unless I find it first. Not Eddie Robinson, the current Hugh Jackson. Lord, I can remember his name. Hugh Jackson. I was having an old moment. I apologize. Hugh Jackson, who was the coach of the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, not the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, the Cleveland Browns. If he could do it, I mean, he got Stephen A. Smith's number. He could call First Take tomorrow and be like, yo, just because Deion's gone, the movement is not ended. We still going to put this pressure on ESPN, and we still want to be on TV. We still want to be – my point is, if it's a real movement, why can't everybody, not just a Deion – that's really what, to me, the movement was supposed to be about in the first place. Not just Deion standing up for his school, but all HBCUs standing up for all of their schools. That was my point. You're looking around like I'm making sense. Thank you, Ron.
I appreciate all of the encouragement and everybody saying, let that man get his money. Let that man get paid. Let that man move to a higher level. Let that man get where he need to be. I'm saying, I'm just feeling like you had a whole city. And I guess I'm still a little sore from years ago in the city of Louisville, Kentucky, where Charlie Strong did the same stuff. And I'm saying, is this a pattern? Is there going to be coaches that come through and be like, believe in me,
let me help you.
Song and dance, song and dance.
Let me help you. Let me help you. No. The answer to that question is no.
Well,
there are going to always be coaches who are going to be given better opportunities, and they're going to take those opportunities just the same way you would if you were on your job and somebody said at another school, said when you was teaching, and somebody at another school said, wow, we think you are a phenomenally dynamic teacher, and we're going to pay you an extra $50,000 to do the exact same job that you're doing right now at this school. You would be like, listen, I would drive you over to the new school and say, listen, where do we sign? If that was our life still. My point is, we're all looking for our individual opportunities and prosperities for our families or for people we love or whatever. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But here's the other part. That I'm trying to tell you. I'm saying to you, irregardless of that, that doesn't have to define the movement. Just because coaches are moving in and out, the entity itself is bigger than that. Jackson State is a school. It is a football program, and they have capable people. Listen, that same AD that made a phone call to Deion Sanders and said to him, hey, man, what about this? He can make another phone call to somebody else and say, hey, man, you saw how well it went for Deion. And I'm saying what we gotta do is try to get in here and create a movement. And it doesn't, we gotta stop thinking that it's all contingent upon one dude. When the blueprint has been given to us, then use the blueprint and let's go. But Mama Noise, I'm glad you represent the other side, because you represent why we can't get movement started in this country. Because people get hurt and they get in their feelings and they're traumatized, and somebody left them here or somebody left them there or somebody didn't do this or somebody didn't do that. And so because of that, the problem is we can't get off the ground with any of this stuff because everybody's so butthurt about how they didn't get what they needed. You ain't gotta get quiet, Mama Noise.
I'm saying, are you just trying to ultimately say it's just business?
No, I'm not saying it's just business. Well, you know what? I am saying it's just business, and this is what I mean by that. I'm saying the business of the movement is bigger than the actions of the moment. Just because Deion did what was best for his group and his family and his coaches or whatever doesn't mean the overall movement has to die. I don't understand I don't understand. And that's why I made the statement I made yesterday, is that one of our biggest problems as Black people is that we all still searching for Martin Luther King. And we feel like we can't move without him. We can't move without Martin Luther King. If Dr. King don't do it, who going to lead it? Who going to do it? Yes. Do we need strong black leaders? Yes. But we need several strong black leaders, not just one overall. We all gonna follow that one guy, black leaders. All of us can take up this mantle. It ain't got to be just one. That's the point I'm trying to make. And because because we don't have the one, we're gonna, you know what? Now I am gonna buy Jackson State something. Now I am gonna buy it. I kept holding off to buy one because I was like, well, is he gonna stay? I don't know. But now I am gonna buy it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because now more than ever, we need the movement to keep going. We gotta keep it going. There's no reason why they can't replace him. None. You said, well, they don't have the money. Okay, then go find the money. Or go find the dynamic coach that'll do exactly what Deion did and say, hey, man, you can win here. You can be dominant here. And if you want to use this as a stepping stone, then so be it. But let's keep this thing rolling. Okay, you're making the faces. You are so hurt by this.
I'm just saying, it just seemed like all these coaches and stuff, they don't do nothing but roll around or wherever.
How is that
just get used to it. And we should, as fans, just say, you know what? They just gonna keep going from place to place.
How is that different than it's always been? It's always been that way. This is
okay, but I like you said, I am on this side of it that says, you know what, and I should just set my mind to say, so when you come here and talk about we can win, we can do this, yeah, bro, you're gonna be here for a hot minute, then you out. Somebody gonna cut you a bigger check, then you out.
So you just want somebody to just come in and stay like Eddie Robinson for the next 40 years.
What happened to that? Is that done and over? We don't get no more coaches that spend a lifetime being a coach. We go around to I did the song and dance for the HBCU. Now I need to show the white man that I can do the same thing up here.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's not about showing the white man anything. It's about we're trying to build HBCUs as a credible option for coaches in America. And yes, until we can help get the black coaches' money up to where it's comparable to the white guys' money. Yes, there's going to be transitional thing. One thing about coaching, Kieta, it provides finances that most jobs can't provide. And the higher you go up in schools, the more opportunity you have to make certain levels of money. So I'm sorry, but the financial part of it is a part of it.
Tell them, cousin. Alabama coach been there a long time.
Alabama, that's a terrible example. That's a terrible example. Alabama coaches is the highest paid coach in the country.
So it is about the money.
Nobody said it wasn't.
And black HBCUs better get your weight up when it comes to the finances, or we gonna keep on losing coaches.
Mama Noise, you're missing the point.
How long is Eddie George gonna be around until they can't?
Mama Noise, you are missing the point. It ain't about just one coach staying at one place the whole time. I love what Anthony Bruce just said. We need to let media know we want to see our HBCUs, because guess what happens when they have these television contracts? Now they can pay these schools the money that they deserve to have them on and feature these bands. Combine the bands with the football game and create an experience. Now you can offer these black coaches something more than just a low-level salary. But we gotta build something that makes sense. No, it's not all about the money, Ruthie.
Ruthie.
She's wrong. Ruthie is wrong. Dead wrong. Wrong is two left shoes.
No, but hey, we know that the church musician ain't gonna hang out if he ain't got a big enough check.
Mama Noise, there are some coaches and then some coaches that are just coming for the check. That's black and white. It ain't a black thing. That's an everybody thing. But that's not the movement. The movement is about being able to create momentum for HBCUs. Give these kids a high profile.
Okay. What if he'd have done a little leg work and tried to get someone to come and fill his shoes? What if he'd have said, let me do some,
Mama
let me
Noise.
call around, let me try to set the groundwork.
How do you know that he's not? That's the point I'm making to you.
Well,
they haven't hired a coach yet. And
I mean, did he have to leave right after and hurry up the conference and all that stuff?
You know what it is? For you, it's all personal. You got your heart broken and you can't get past it. You don't even see the vision. You don't even hear the vision. All you see is that the dude broke up with you before prom. And you had bought your prom dress and you was ready to go. And now all of a sudden he's still taking you to the prom, but he done told you afterwards he's going to get married to the other girl. That's what you see. That's what you see. That's how you acting. And that's how a lot of people are acting. He broke up with me. I can't believe he broke my heart. Listen. Did he do it the complete way that he should have done it? Probably not. Mistakes have been made. I get it. But at the same time, the blueprint has been laid for HBCUs to build into something. And there is a moment happening that if they don't seize it, then you're right. It was wasted. I'm just saying, Mama Noise. What Anthony Bruce said? He couldn't do that. He was running to the bank to cash.
They said they didn't have it yet, so really he's in the way.
Thank you, Larika. Your Soror is so smart. I love her so much. She's such an intelligent black woman.
I'm just, I really, my heart hurts for the city of Jackson.
Listen, everybody feels for the city of Jackson because they lost a great coach. But that don't mean they can't survive it. That don't mean they got to go back to oblivion. They can go get another great coach. There are other great coaches out there that are just as good, that are just as talented, maybe even more so. How about there's a coach on the sideline of the Pittsburgh Steelers right now named Brian Flores, who is very capable to be able to coach Jackson State because he was coaching the Miami Dolphins. Go offer him the job. How about there's a coach over on the sideline of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now named Byron Leftwich? Go offer him the job. How about there's a guy at the Kansas City Chiefs named Eric Bieniemy who played at Colorado? Go offer him the job. What's the problem? What are we waiting on? Go convince that dude that he can have a stepping stone to all of his coaching dreams as a head coach, and it can start right there at Jackson State. Because guess what? Deion just showed him it could be done. That's the movement. He laid the groundwork, and now it's time for someone else to take it over. Not every leader gets to take it to the finish line. Oh, I'm sorry, Larika. I didn't know Luca got in the feeling. We was together, and then I tried to take one of her coaches, and she's like, "We'll part ways." But y'all understand my point. Everybody don't get to take it all the way. Well, you are hurt. You just like the rest of them. You're hurt. You're hurt. You're all
I heard for the city. I heard for the students and the players that can't just jump in the transfer portal and can roll out with the passer, roll out with the coach.
Mama Noise. Them players couldn't jump in the transfer portal anyway. Under any circumstance, they were going. Listen, some of them guys are grateful to have been down to Jackson State and got a scholarship, and that's just how it is. I agree with you.
Yeah. Okay, well, like Kyrie said in the chat, he said, well, those days are gone where folks come and coach and stay.
It's not about that. It's not about coming to coach and stay. It's about, Mama Noise, let me tell you something. You and I have been married 23 years, about to be 24. And I have not coached Mama Noise for this question. She just lived with me for 23 years. Have I ever left a job worse than I found it?
No.
Okay, that's my point. But I didn't stay at every job either.
But I seen you stay at a job for well over almost 20 years.
Well, I don't count that one. But
I'm saying
that. But I don't count that one. That wasn't a good. That ain't a good example.
It'd be different if you was that dude that was hippity hopping in from.
Being honest, and if we being honest, Mama Noise, I should have left that one. Right?
Are you trying to say
I should have left that one long before I did?
Well,
okay, then. So
that ain't a good parallel that one to Deion.
No, what I'm saying to you is,
Like, you think Deion would be at Jackson all these years and be like, I should have took that contract up?
No. What I'm saying is that if a guy went into a situation and left the situation better than when he found it, then they should be able to build on what he did. Every job that I've left has been able to build on my actions. Every single one. So I don't understand. So it should not have gotten worse. It shouldn't get worse because I left you the blueprint. Deion left them the blueprint. So it should get better. It should be better.
Okay. So we should have that mindset about everything. You know, like when
Mama Noise, I got news for you.
Amazon, it should be better because he gone.
Mama Noise, I got news for you. That is the mindset. It's never not been that mindset. The only reason you in your feelings right now is because, like you said, I'm hurting for Jackson State. I'm hurting for the kids in the portal. I'm hurting for everybody.
For the city and the students.
Ruthie said, did I watch the 60 Minutes? Yes, Ruthie, I did. But I actually heard what he said, as opposed to some people who just heard what they wanted to hear.
Anthony Bruce said he should have stayed 5 years.
It would have been wonderful if he stayed 5 years. That would have been fantastic if he stayed 5 years.
If he stayed that long, that I would be nothing I can say.
That's not true. You Negroes would still be complaining.
Oh, I would say that is commitment.
You Negroes would still be complaining.
I would say he stayed with him all that time, and if they didn't get the progress and they didn't have the movement after 5 years, then I could understand.
Well, I think
don't be telling people that Jesus told you to come there, and then all of a sudden, you know, Jesus also told me go and find the promised land up in Colorado.
Mama Noise. I don't know about the Jesus part. I'll never speak to what Jesus is saying to another man. That's between him and God.
He says,
what I will say is this: in the 60 Minutes interview, he said Jesus told him to go there, and he went there. But he also said, I'd be a fool not to listen to other places because I have coaches that have never made the kind of money that I know some schools are willing to offer. And if I believe that God is leading me to go that route, then I will. And see, Ruth is another one of them ones. Ruth is another one of them ones that's hurt because Charlie left.
Wait a minute. Now that's my kinfolk. I'm simply saying.
I know who it is. I know who it is.
I'm trying to say.
Ruthie.
See, Ruthie know the deal. Her son done played for the Patriots. She know the deal. So
what's the deal? What are you saying the deal is? Exactly what are you saying the deal is?
Know how they do.
Who do? What are you talking about?
Coaches and all of that rigmarole.
Andy Bruce said Jesus said the area of Colorado was healthier for him. So there you go. There's that.
And you know what, Anthony Bruce?
Now, I'll say this and answer what Ron said. If black people stop supporting HBCUs because Deion left, then dare I say black people don't want to support HBCUs anyway. Because if one man is the only reason you support HBCUs, see, you can't talk to me about supporting HBCUs because I've been around HBCUs my whole life. I've been a fan, and I love my HBCU has always been the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff because that's what I grew up under. That's where my family went to school. That's what I've always supported all my life. The golden lines of the University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff. So I'm always going to be all in on HBCU. Matter of fact, the first part of my life, the only schools I really understood and knew and respected were HBCUs.
But see, HBCUs don't have the leg up that the PWIs. So even when black people say we support you, do they have the money? They have alumni stuff, alumni this, alumni that, but then they don't have the resources.
But Mama Noise, that's the point that I'm making.
All the resources that came to Jackson State because of Deion is what we're talking about. We're not talking about worship that man. I'm talking about all of a sudden stars that been knowing HBCUs have financial problems. All of a sudden they all coming. They all showing up for homecoming. They all trying to give their support.
Mama Noise.
Sure, they all wear suits from my company.
But Mama Noise. But that is because there have been rumors and valid rumors of mismanagement of funds with HBCUs as it relates to the sports programs for years. So yes, you are correct. Deion brought an integrity and a credibility that made private business and celebrities want to give to it. So my point to you is he has laid out a blueprint. So Jackson State and others can have that same effect, do that same thing. They can still go and get men of integrity to look over the finances of the school, to give to be. They can still do that. They don't have to stop doing that just because Deion left. Jackson State right now, where it is, could go to the same company that are sponsoring them right now and say, listen, we are going to replace Deion with another name that is as wonderful as Deion. And then go get that guy, because Deion's salary was not just money that he made from Jackson State. It was Jackson State plus his endorsements. That same blueprint could work if you hire somebody else. And every HBCU could use that same blueprint if they want to. That's the movement part of what we're talking about, Mama Noid. Use the blueprint and build. Use it and build. It does not have to be just one dude. I don't understand why that's so hard for you and others. Mama Noid have the money. Black, what's that? BP have the money.
Black people have the money.
Right. If you can spend $250 on a pair of Jordans, you can pay $100 for a football ticket. Same way they do at PB.
I don't spend no $250 on Jordan.
You don't, but Mama Noise. They do. Now, that part, I don't like that. Right. Oh, well, yeah, I know what you're saying, Tara. When he got there, he sure did. He got all the people out there that was stealing money and doing stuff raggedy, and they cleaned up the whole program. So now it's a place that you can give to. So he gave them the blueprint. And the same with these other PWI. Now, you want to get into some real conversation, Mama? Let's get some real conversation.
Okay.
Maybe one of the reasons why HBCUs can't get a real movement going on, I'm not afraid to say that, is because there are people in these HBCUs that are benefiting financially from the suffering of these athletic programs.
What kind of benefit? Who would benefit?
You heard what I said. You heard what I said.
Who benefits from their suffering?
There are people in the administrations. There are people in the athletic departments. It is well talked about and documented that there are HBCUs programs that have mismanaged funds, that funds are not being distributed the right way. And it's not, that's one of the reasons why people have not been, and I'm not saying all of them are like that, but it don't take all of them for people to get squeamish about giving to any of them. If you got a couple that are doing it, then it's gonna make everybody. It's go. Listen, can I just say something real candid? Y'all know I'm about to tell the truth. White people don't need that many excuses not to give us nothing. They don't need that many excuses. So if you got one school with a national scandal, that's all it takes for all the other ones to be because they're gonna lump us all together.
Wow. I am.
But that's what I'm saying. Deion brought that credibility. So now, if we're really serious about creating a movement, let's clean up all of these schools like they need to be, and then let's make this thing work.
I hear you say the blueprint and all the things that he's done, and that part is everybody is quite aware of. I'm just saying is that if you're saying it's so simple, why have we not heard nothing that's going on up at TSU? Is it because of all the shine going on down at Jackson?
Well, Jackson did suck the air out of a lot of rooms. I'll admit that. Deion sucks the air out of a lot of rooms. But Eddie George needs to get louder. If I'm being honest, I'm not trying to criticize the brother. I know he's trying to get his feet underneath him and figure this thing out. But one of the ways you figure it out is you get louder. You can't just be a head coach. You got to be the face of Tennessee State athletics. which is what Deion did. He became the face of Jackson State athletics. Eddie George could do that. Eddie George is well liked, well respected everywhere. And so he could do it. He could walk into Nashville. And by the way, Nashville, a real city with real money flowing through it. He's in the center of a situation where if he start making enough noise and calling enough attention to it and bringing enough attention to the school, he could make the same waves that Deion made. But he got to get louder. Like I said, the blueprint's been laid. The blueprint has been laid. What is he going to do about it?
I guess I have felt like, the only thing that HBCUs have been known, they just in media, period, has never been anything positive. So the fact of what Deion has been doing all this time, I was like, oh my gosh, it's getting ready to happen. It's going to be all these different HBCUs. All of a sudden, the guys that use them to go to school are going to feel like I should go back and I should give to the athletic program, that if they made it through the, to the NFL, all this is going to happen. I'm just so excited about what's about to happen because I believe this is a fire starter. This is an example of what's about to happen. And I feel like you said in another statement about sucking all the air out of, that's the way I felt happened when he said, forget the South. It's all about that Rado. All about that Colorado right now because they cutting the check. And I'm like, I'm feeling like, wow, the HBCUs was on a road to making this something that all HBCUs do.
Okay, let me come a different way. Let me come a different way because you're not hearing it for some reason. HBCUs were not on a roll. Jackson State was on a roll. And what Jackson State did is that they laid out a blueprint of how it can be done. Then TSU said, hey, this might be, Jackson State might have something. Let's go hire Eddie George. Grambling said, hey, that might be something. Let's go hire Hugh Jackson. Let's go put a face in front of the program of somebody who possibly could make influence and impact, not just on the field, but off the field. Now, to S. Dot's point, TSU was 4-7 this year, so it can't just be that you making noise. You got to win. You do have to win. That is an important piece of this puzzle. But my point is if you are doing it, following the blueprint that he laid out, and go get the best coaches, go get some innovative coaches, go put in a system that attracts young players to come, go and then coach these guys up to greatness. Now, all of a sudden, you build the same type of momentum. That's the point I'm trying to make. I understand what you're saying, Mama Noy. I just think that is our problem. I think our problem is that we see Deion as a one-on-one. And maybe he is, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that there's only one good coach one good black coach in the whole United States of America. There's only one, and it's Deion Sanders. No, many other black coaches.
I don't believe that, but it's sort of like, I will put myself on blast. We all about full disclosure here on this show. That when I was born and raised in the city of Louisville, Kentucky. Every time I'd heard something about HBCUs, it was raggedy. The only one lone HBCU in the state of Kentucky was K-State.
Technically it was two, but Simmons.
I'm sorry.
Simmons is technically an HBCU.
Okay, but I'm not talking about a church school, a minister school. I'm talking about.
Hold on, because I got to give you the button for that one.
Damn.
I'm just talking about
a church school, a minister school. Wow,
it's a Bible college.
It isn't anymore. It's an HBCU, full on HBCU.
I'm not talking about a Bible college. I'm simply saying that when I heard about HBCUs, the only thing I've ever heard of was Kentucky State University. And I'll be honest with you, in all my years of living, I've never even set foot on their campus because all I ever heard was, man, it's so raggedy up there. Or Fisk, so raggedy. TSU is so those were the schools that was in, right off of 65 South, from Louisville to Tennessee, up and down the interstate. All the HBCUs were raggedy. And I was like, dang, well, I don't want to go to school in none of those places. I'm struggling enough as it is. I don't want to go to a school that's going to be falling apart. And then when you do hear about an HBCU, the last time I told y'all, before there was a Deion, the last thing I heard about a HBCU was down at Howard or Moorhead, one of the Spelman.
Morehouse.
They said the school was so raggedy, the students had to get tents and sleep outside because rats was running ragged and stuff. And I was like, "Are you serious? This is what it is." But yet we got.
So let me.
There are alumni.
Okay, but let me go back to something I said earlier. There has been rampant, and I mean rampant, belief in that there's been misappropriation in these black schools, and some of it has been validated. So when you have that kind of stuff going on, you're pointing, but you're not listening. I need you to hear me. When that type of stuff is going on, then it's going to be hard to change the reputation. That's what I'm saying to you. What the Deion situation at Jackson State did is that they proved as an institution that you can do better. Now, what they now have to do is keep doing better, striving to do better. TSU can do better. Fisk can do better. These schools they have to deliberately want to do better in order for change to keep taking place. That's the point that we're making. You can't have this type of change, and you can't have any type of change if people aren't willing to deliberately make the decision. Right. Thank you, Ruthie. See, Ruthie came through.
Oh, now you want to co-sign for the cousin?
I love Ruthie. That's my girl. She
What?
said people, they have to change. That's what we're talking about. And that's what I'm saying. Jackson State, Deion, those guys laid a blueprint.
Listen.
And no, they're raggedy, Ron. I hate to say it, but they're raggedy.
I'm telling you, I went.
I hate to say it, but it's the truth. They're raggedy.
I'm telling you, I went as soon as I became a Zeta, and we just started traveling around from school to school. But when I did, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm ready to go to an HBCU and see what they got popping on campus." It's like, this is the living arrangements. Hecky no, y'all got me bent. I'll stay where I'm at. Thank you very much.
Right, they have problems that need to be cleaned up, and now I'm gonna say something that ain't gonna be popular. Ooh, I'm about to get in some trouble with this one. It might be time for either a governing body of over all HBCUs, all 107, or to make them all state funded where they have to do the right thing.
So you saying we don't know how to act with our own money?
We haven't proven that we know how to act with our own money. Because listen, here's the reality. There is no viable reason why some of our HBCUs, with as much money that has been given to those institutions over the years for people like Oprah, Dr. Cosby and his family, and so many other families, Robert Smith, you go on down the line. Listen, if there was a true system of accountability in place with HBCUs, I believe that they would become a destination point of giving for corporate entities in America. But there's not. They function in individuality and with a low level of accountability for what's happening with those funds. And so that is the reason why people aren't just handing over money to them. They don't know what you're doing with it.
Wow.
I'm just being out. Y'all want to have a real discussion? Let's have a real discussion.
Well, if I remember, I do.
But it's state funded, but there are loopholes, Tara. You know what I mean by that when I say that. Just like K-State. K-State is state funded, but they found the loopholes.
Man, they were threatening.
There's no governing body.
They were threatening to close K-State.
That's what I'm saying. There's no governing body to make them accountable to what is being done. So things can be manipulated in a way to where it looks like there's change, but there's not really any change.
Well, if I recall,
that's true. That's also true as well.
If I recall, I remember just a couple of months back when Deion was still at Jackson State, and he said, y'all need to go ahead, and you got all these kids waiting on their funding. I can't remember what it was, but there was a lot of students that were waiting
on their financial aid.
Right. Yeah, that's what I mean. They're waiting on their financial aid, and it's being held up, and they can't, they can get kicked out of school. They don't have the books or all the stuff.
And Mama Noise, the reason why, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'm saying the reason why that is because of antiquated funding, antiquated systems, old regimes that are still in place that should have been gone a long time ago. It's a lot of stuff that needs to change. But again, these schools, though some of them are state funded, many of them are not. But the reality is there's no real governing system to make sure that HBCUs as a whole are doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's why I didn't like what Kevin Cosby said about SACs. Some of these schools are struggling to do to meet SAC standards. SACs is the governing body that makes sure that academics is what the way it looks, the way it's supposed to look at every school. And they are struggling, but why are they struggling? That's a very broad and simplistic way to put that it's not just that they're struggling because of the finances. Some of it is because they're struggling because they're not doing what you're supposed to do to meet SAC standards. And is that some of that financial? Yes, but some of it's not. Some of it is just we got the wrong people running the wrong stuff. To me, the movement is a grand overhaul to HBCUs. And how does that happen? It happens because we as Black people decide that HBCUs is a viable option of education for our children, and we're going to support it not only with us going to the party or going to the game, but also with our resources and our activity. And until we as Black people do that, we're not going to see much change in HBCUs.
Wow.
Real quick, we have an update on the Georgia Senate race with 50%. We are now at 50% of the votes being tallied. Ralph Warnock has a 3-point lead over Herschel Walker. It is 964,000 to 903,000. Yes, there are 903,000 fools that voted for Herschel Walker.
Are they bots? Are they real people?
They're real people. I mean,
what?
Here's a Black mom who went through it. We can do better.
Listen.
Yeah, we can do better. We got to do better if we want to see change.
I mean, I'm just telling you.
Well, I know what you're saying, Mama Noy, but I'm trying to help you understand. Deion can't do everything.
No, I know that, but it is. I guess I was looking at, so many things were being addressed and brought to light where, I'm not saying they didn't have a water problem before he got there, but I'm saying it was brought to light that, this problem needs to be fixed. And it was probably because of, the Jackson State's status is what helped expedited that, them to go ahead and wrap that up and go ahead and fix that. Where under the normal circumstances of what we just got finished saying is a lot of HBCUs being raggedy or old and not nobody coming and making the decision, hey, we need to build new dormitories. We need to build, new buildings for classes and things like that, or restore them or something.
Yeah.
It just seemed like those things would have fell by the wayside had it not been for all of the attention and all the status that Jackson State received by,
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Mama. We need to create something, a movement. We need to turn this into a movement and bring the type of credibility, overhaul these schools, overhaul the administrations, overhaul the whole process, and create and then and explore. I'm saying inside of 5 to 10 years, if you really look at HBCU, somebody take a hard look, some of the smartest minds get together, take a hard look at how we can fix these things. Why can't we come together and create momentum? We could. We really could. Let me go back to Al's thing. He said 1.8 million early votes. That's what I heard too, Al. I'm not sure if there's a rule that says we have to do the calculations of the polls first, and then we'll drop these other votes. Maybe that's because that's typically when I've watched Georgia races, that's kind of what has happened. Like they calculate the actual votes first of the day, and then they drop in and count the other votes as the night goes on. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but hopefully that 1.8 early vote is highly and strongly Democratic. We will see. but there is now the lead for Reverend Warnock has dwindled down to 2 points.
Oh my God.
977 to 944. So we will see what is happening with that. We'll keep in mind. We got about 30 minutes left in today's show. We'll see. But Tara asked a question: why doesn't our happiness for Coach Prime's career upgrade outweigh our disgust in him leaving? Is this modern day crabs in a bucket?
I do want to see him succeed. I'm not saying I don't want to see him succeed. My heart has just been for the people, the students, the community, just all of them that have been, that believed in this movement and the flipping of the just the whole Jackson State community, where this guy was going door to door and the crime rate was going down, and it's almost like he was more than
you think the crime rate was going down because Jackson State was winning
I'm
football
saying
games?
It was more than just football. It seemed like it was really the community was laying hold of it, like, because Jackson State has been known for, Jackson City of Jackson has been known for such negativity and stuff, but this is the first time it's been known for something positive, and you got stars and stuff flying in, driving in and stuff because they want to be there. They want to support, not just Deion, but they want to support this movement and stuff. And now it's just like poof.
So
no more movement.
So here's the reality. That's not true. The movement can continue without him. It can. They just have to want to continue it.
But you said earlier, why does it seem like we can't move without a Martin Luther King?
That's the point I'm making, Mama Noise. They can. They actually can. They don't need a Martin Luther King to make this movement sustain. They need leaders, and they just need to go get another leader that can go out and be the be the face or whatever. But let's come together and create and keep it going. If you really believe, if it felt good to be in Jackson for the last 3 years, now let's keep it feeling good to be in Jackson. Let's bring somebody else in that's going to bring in the same mindset and the same attitude and the same or similar attitude and similar love and care for the university. And then let's duplicate that all across all these HBCUs. It can be done. It just has to be deliberately. We have to do it on purpose. I just think that's a lot of. I agree with Tar in the sense of. Listen. I would personally have loved to see him stay and go a different route, but I also understand why he didn't, because he said it means something to me to help my coaches get what they need and make the type of money that they have never made in their lives. These guys have been loyal to me 10, 20 years. They deserve to be rewarded. So I understand that. I'm fighting for my guys here in Noise right now and their loyalty. So Mama Noise, we understand that as well. So listen, I get it. I get it. I get why everybody's hurt. I understand.
You say, well, the kind of money, I don't know. I know you say I'm just being, but I'm like, did you have to, why couldn't you just be the guy to say, since you came in with all of what you came in, why couldn't you just say, you know what, I ain't even taking a salary. Give it to the guys since I got Shadur a contract, NIL, contract.
But Mama,
you got everybody and their mama giving you some type of contract.
You want the man not to make no money from the school. And by the way,
if he really concerned about all them coaches that ain't making much money.
Mama Noise, he took a $300,000 contract a year. He made more of that. He made more of that sitting on his ass at CBS. So yes, he did make money, help his coaches make money.
I'm just saying he made crazy endorsement money. So I'm saying,
but you're not hearing me now. You're trying to make a point and not hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying the man made many sacrifices. He paid for stuff on his own. He went out and got them an endorsement deal with Michael Strahan so they could have suits to wear to the game. He paid for the names to be on the back of those jerseys so that when their families are sitting in the stand or they're on TV, the people can see the name on the back of the jersey. He put his own money and helped put what more do you want the man to do? Walk on the water, Jackson? Goodness gracious. Don't the people have some responsibility to their own university? I get it. To whom much is given, much is required. I get it. But he did that. He different if he didn't do it. He did that. And by the way, we don't ask Nick Saban to do that. We don't ask Ryan Day to do that. We don't ask these white coaches to do that. Nick Saban right now is the highest paid state employee in the state of Alabama. Ain't nobody asked him to give back a dime to nowhere. And guess what? There's as many black people going to them Alabama games as anybody else. And anybody said Nick Saban, the black people in Alabama, Tuscaloosa, and Birmingham, and Mobile, they should be able to get a little of that money, don't you think? Why? Because he ain't black? I'm just saying. I'm not for that part of it. I'm saying we got to stand up and take, you and I got to do for you and I. That's what the prophets, outcasts, organized noise said, Goody Ma. Get up, get out, and get something. Don't let the days of your life pass by. You need to get up, get out, and do something because you and I got to look out for you and I. Right. Nick Saban's team is 80% black.
Are we comparing to him?
I'm comparing what you're saying. You're saying Deion should give his salary back. Deion should sacrifice. Well, why are we not asking all the coaches to sacrifice? If we asking sacrifice, because they could.
I'm saying that because you said, his coaches don't get paid that much. I'm sitting there going, what? I mean, if you can't say if Jackson State ain't got no money because they're giving all their money to Deion, then maybe he should say, okay, I'm getting boom, 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 endorsement. My kids got endorsement.
Mama Noise. He did. Just because you fuss, that don't make you right.
No, I'm just saying he doing all right. He got everybody doing all right except for the coaches.
That's not what you're not hearing what I'm saying. He is doing what he did, and he gave to those coaches. He sacrificed for those coaches to make what they made. Deion is worth way more than $300,000 a year, a $1.9 million contract for 5 years. He's worth way more than that. But he took that so that his coaches could have what they needed, and then gave most of that away. So you're wrong. As much as I love you and you fine.
I understand that, but I mean, if it's all that, why ain't he jump out into Colorado first? Why ain't he go up there first? Why ain't get the black people all stirred up saying it's all about HBU? I'm going to help your sons. I'm going to help this community. You know, the Lord done called me to this area. And then where was the white man anyway?
You know what, Mama Noise?
What
You know what, Mama Noise? You know what, Mama Noise?
Wasn't no offers before that.
Hey, you know what, Mama Noise? You know what we got to do as black people? We got to learn to heal from our own mess so that we don't project our mess on somebody else. That's really what we're doing right now. Such and such broke my heart, and Deion remind me of them. That man, while we don't like what he did, you might not like that he didn't stay as long as we wanted him to stay. What did he really do wrong? You just sat here and said he helped the people, he changed the culture, he impacted the city. So what crime did he really commit that you're so angry about?
Because to me, football coaches are like fathers.
Mama, I just showed you a video where the sons of Deion Sanders all said, "Thank you, coach, for what you did for it." I just showed you that video. His sons are fine with it. His daughters,
biologicals? Of course
no. All of the sons of the program are fine with what he did. Even the daughters of the program who were just helping out and volunteering their time were fine with what he did. The only people that don't seem to have a problem with it are the people that are hurt in their own lives and want to project that hurt onto somebody else. And they take to Twitter and Instagram and talk about how butthurt they are. He should have stayed. He should have Even though none of them Negroes would have stayed if they got a raise and opportunity. Not one of them. Not one of the people that tweeted out, sell out, and this, that, and the other, if they had been offered something similar, wouldn't have done the same thing. And by the way, you would have done it too. As much as I love you, boo, you'd have done the same thing.
No, we stayed for 20 years with a sucky salary.
And we were wrong.
But can't nobody say we didn't stay.
But Mama Noise, what do we have to show for it? We're just now getting to a place in our lives where we're doing what we want to do and how we want to do it. If we'd have left 10 years earlier, like we should have done, things would be completely different. So we were wrong.
We are ministers that moved.
Mama Noise, we were wrong.
Excuse me, we stayed for 20 years. We did not move.
Mama Noise, we were wrong. We were wrong.
We were wrong.
You know we were wrong. Huh?
You saying that we overstayed our time?
Yes, and you know we overstayed it. So why you trying to act like there's a nobility in us staying?
I guess because to me, loyalty is everything.
Mama Noise, he ain't okay. I don't know how you equate a better opportunity with not being loyal.
Yeah. Okay.
Mama Noise is hurt, y'all. We're gonna pray for her soul tonight. Matter of fact, hold on. White organist, I know you're in the building. Come over here to the thing. I'm about to bring this sermon to a close. White organist, tune up that organ for me real quick so we can pray for Mama Noise. Y'all, everybody bow your heads for Mama Noise real quick. Thank you, White organist. Lord, help Mama Noise and all those who are butthurt over what Deion did. Get past it. Man is trying to do what's right for the people he loves. And by the way, Lord, we thank you for the young men that are going to follow him and get an even greater opportunity to get to their next level so they can have generational wealth with their family. And all we're saying, Lord, is that heal the behind of all these people that are butthurt. Heal it, Lord. Send down a big stab or an elixir or some silicone or some peroxide or something, maybe build a bridge and get over it.
Sliding off.
Thank you, White Organist. Thank you.
White Organist.
I'm just
saying.
See
him sliding off the.
I'm just saying. Y'all got to build a bridge. Get past this. So the man did what he did. He stayed as long as he thought he was supposed to stay, and now he's gone. Now, time will tell if he was right. But that doesn't have to change the movement of what could take place. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. Me and Mama Noise that had it out tonight. Y'all joined us. We sure appreciate y'all. Let's get back to the church announcements real quick before we go. Like I said, tomorrow we got the 5. You know, we go continue this Deion conversation along with the playoffs and all that good stuff. So tune in for the 5 for that. Then Thursday morning, we got the Believe in the ACC Awards. That's going to be great. We're going to have a good time with that as well. And then Thursday afternoon, we will be starting something new for the rest of the month. Throwback Thursday. Go back and watch a couple. We got a couple of great, interesting shows on Thursday that we've done in the past. And girlfriend, get out here. So check that out. And then of course we got Black Friday. We'll be live Black Friday, so that'll be us live here on the platform. And like I said earlier, if you missed Uncorked Wine, I really don't even know how to explain it other than to say you missed it. And we're coming back for part 2 this weekend. I don't even know how to explain it. All I can tell you is it was intense. And this one ain't gonna be no better. So we're gonna have a wonderful conversation, a lot of fun. It's just having fun, y'all. Having a good time. Stay strong, Ron. Stay strong, brother. Stay strong, man. So anyway, we're gonna try to make it all come together this week and have some fun. A lot of wonderful things. Guys, I wish I could tell y'all all the wonderful things we got coming up. Oh, man, there's so many good things. So many good things. This program is going to look very, very different coming into 2023. We got a lot of changes and a lot of surprises coming, but it's going to be great. Oh, man, Tara, your birthday is Saturday. Well, we will be celebrating. We'll be toasting up for you on Saturday.
Be turning up somewhere.
Now you turn it up, we're gonna turn up as well for your birthday. All right. So with that being said, y'all, we love y'all so much. We appreciate y'all so much because y'all are the bomb.com. Please like, follow, subscribe, share this program on whatever platform you're watching, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and now Twitter. Share it everywhere you can share it. Let the people know that Talkin NOIZ, the podcast, is here. We up in this piece doing our thing. We appreciate y'all. Georgia, don't let us down tonight. Don't let us down. I know this race is tight, but don't let us down. Please finish this thing the right way. Finish strong, Georgia. Don't do your job. Georgia, do your job. All right. We'll see y'all on Friday. Talkin NOIZ. Georgia, do your job.
We're talking noise. Talking noise.